reacting to a Godzilla game, but it's recreated into a crazy animation. So honestly, I'm ready to jump right into it. This is by Filmcore, and here we go.
This is a cinematic introduction for the 2004 game Godzilla Save the Earth.
Godzilla Save the Earth. Press the start button. Okay, off the rip, I gotta stop because this already looks just amazing. I'm guaranteeing you we won't see it until, yeah, we're not gonna see the full animation until the end, but it already looks great.
Piece of Godzilla media.
I'm excited.
See, not only did it feature a plethora of Godzilla.
See, that's the game, and it looks, you know, it looks decent.
But the dynamic and cinematic,
but the animation he's gonna make,
proper scale framing, and incredible.
I already know it's gonna be crazy.
Effects were things that we Godzilla fans hadn't.
So I wonder if he made all of the other kaijus or just Millennium Godzilla.
And because
Godzilla 2K.
10-year-old kid out there waiting to be inspired just how I was, I took it upon myself to update
I'll do it myself.
Visual effects
okay, Thanos.
and remake my favorite piece of Godzilla media. To do this, the first thing we need,
bro, I'm so excited.
3D model. Or in this
Let
case,
me know your favorite Godzilla in the comments. By the way, it did look like he made all of them.
However,
That's
this
sick.
old model is inaccurate.
Let me know your favorite Godzilla.
Standards. I made it for my old videos where I had to have 10 Godzillas
that's the Atomic Breath one, yup.
So I couldn't go all
That was such a good video, bro.
As I didn't want my brain or computer.
I'd love to see another one of those.
But considering that I just bought a 4090, my mental health was apparently too stable.
Oh boy, got the 4090 on him.
Buy a fire extinguisher.
That's beautiful.
I wanted to try and go all out for this.
Not the fire.
My old model into ZBrush, cranked up the polygons, and decided to sculpt every scale by hand to try and make it as accurate to the real.
Okay, now already, I mean, it has no color, no nothing, but you can see inside of Blender that this model looks absolutely amazing. I don't know anything about animating. All I do know is that it takes a lot of work, especially like you heard him say, he made all of the scales by hand. So I'm imagining that took a long time. Shout out to Filmcore, bro.
To therapy, I brought it in for texturing, which is where I give it color and try to make it look like a real thing instead of just polygons. I then brought it back to Blender to give it a skeleton.
Bro, that looks so good.
Animate it later on. With this, we had our finished model of Godzilla 2000.
Godzilla 2K, baby.
Next up,
that
is
looks
my
great.
Personal favorite, Kiryu.
Or
Mechagodzilla 3 for you heathens.
I love Kiryu too, bro. I love what Kiryu looks.
Of him, so he just needed a subdivision and some procedural scratches and highlights for those shots where we get really up close.
He even added the scratches.
3.
Actually, I don't like that. Give me 1 second.
He made an announcer voice?
Kiryu.
Hell yeah.
For that looks so much. I mean, it sounds so much better. Are you kidding me?
Ghidorah, at least visually. But my Heisei model is really outdated, and I spent all my time sculpting.
It still looks good though. It still looks good.
Making Ghidorah from scratch was out of the question.
Okay, I was about to say.
Again, none of what we see is really consistent with only one version, so it gave me an excuse to forego accuracy.
Yeah.
And instead use this fabulous Shin Ghidorah model from our friend Bynate.
Shin Ghidorah.
That thing looks crazy.
And least for Megalon and Gigan. Nah, I'm just kidding. Gigan is pretty cool, and Megalon's
Megalon, you know, he's just there. He's just kind of there.
Gave them both a slight retexture to make them look extra sexy.
Gigan, Megalon.
Nice.
Once all the models are ready to go, it's time to start the animation.
Oh!
Now, typically, this is where
I'm ready to just see the animation.
Animating them by hand, which I
but we gotta see the process, bro.
Except Godzilla. Considering Godzilla has traditionally been a guy in a costume, there was no more fitting thing.
That's crazy.
Do the modern equivalent of that and try to do motion capture for the big G.
He did motion capture?
Expensive motion capture suit from Xsense, whose very tight shirt reminds me that I should lock my pantry after 3 a.m. And once I was strapped in, I ran through the entire scene and just really tried to channel my inner 300-foot-tall monster.
That's crazy, dude.
Back into Blender and applied it to my skeleton. At first, it looks pretty wonky.
It does look a little wonky.
Targeting comes in, which allows me to put everything where it needs to be. What was really amazing about
much better.
is that in less than a day, I was able to have completed and super high quality animations, which would have taken me at least a couple of days to try and get to this fidelity. And the last step inside Blender was to add in that special sauce, which is applying
the special sauce,
like the spines and thighs, which makes the monsters look and feel heavy.
Bro, this is insane. I don't know if you guys have ever animated out there.
I poured everything
I haven't,
Unreal Engine,
but I can only imagine how long it takes.
Our final image. This is just a back and forth between getting
That's
something
so
that
crazy
works for the scene and looks good.
I know I've said that a lot, but it looks amazing.
If you remember seeing the animations from earlier, you might have noticed one glaring issue. no tail movement.
I did see no tail movement.
Is to make a physics asset so certain bones from the model can interact with their surroundings if they're set to simulate.
There's so many options, bro.
Record this motion and apply it back into our shots.
Okay, that looks better.
I thought I almost forgot about the most important character, the fisherman. But I didn't.
The fisherman?
While there are a few different ways to create a 3D human, I wanted to try my hand at Unreal's metahumans, which are super high fidelity.
Oh, I've seen those.
So I opened
they
up
look so real.
Editor, which works in your browser for some reason.
Don't tell me he made himself.
Oh,
he just made a metahuman. Okay.
To the original one. I also had to make him go balding, as it makes adding a cap to him much easier. Sorry, guy. I again motion captured the movement and then exported him out to Blender so I could apply this motion.
So good.
Where I gave him his sweater and his cap, and now it's all back into Unreal.
Fisherman.
The Fisherman. Was simple. I made the sonar inside of After Effects and added it to my scene, and the last step was the facial animation, which I really want to delve into more in a future video. I was going to do the same thing for the singer girl, but I was tired and lazy at this point.
I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you.
Piece of stock footage, got AI to rotoscope it for me, which was fantastic. Then just added this background and made it glitch out into the G4 sign.
Nice.
I can then just add this into my scene along the Pipeworks logo to give credit to the original creators. For the traffic,
beautiful.
I created a long line of cars.
That's how you do it right there. Work smarter, not harder.
And the last step is just ensuring the camera is sufficiently far away. For the footsteps, I simply took these debris pieces and animated them coming out of the ground with every step.
I'd like to get into this kind of stuff, but I feel like it just...
The last thing I needed were the flying saucers.
You'd have to do it for a long time to actually
but I opted
get this good.
These ones to have them be a bit more modern. And now, with all the visuals finished, I could hit render, which would take around 12 hours.
Are we about to see it?
Thing.
12 hours.
Needing a break to recharge my battery for the final stretch, I got my old Godzilla DVDs and popped one in. But in my tired stupor, I didn't realize I had popped in Godzilla's Revenge, the worst Godzilla movie, and I instantly died. The only cure was a better Godzilla movie, and luckily, my laptop was at arm's reach. Unfortunately, being Canadian meant nothing good was available, but I didn't fret, because with NordVPN, I was able to switch my location to
Japan. The NordVPN, I see you.
And was instantly revived. Not only that, but now NordVPN is protecting my browser from hackers and prying.
I like it. You know, you gotta get paid for this kind of work right here. I mean, my boy.
Meaning that you'll get the same.
I don't know if he said how long it took, but I can only imagine.
Get protection for
at least a week, right?
Meaning your information and traffic
at least
are always protected.
It's probably longer. I don't know.
To you, I'm here giving you a totally risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee.
We're gonna play through the ad, bro. We're playing through the ad. For all of this work,
so
you get an ad here too, except I'm not getting paid for it.
Once it had finished
rendering,
I added music and then brought it in for sound mixing, which is where I add sound effects.
Oh, the SFX.
Processing, and now with everything out of the way, here.
Yes! Here we go!
Godzilla Save the Earth introduction.
Godzilla Save the Earth. Let's see it. The animation of Godzilla Save the Earth. I'm hyped up for this one. The once video game, now animation. We got the fisherman here. What do you see, sir? Tell us. It's Godzilla. That looks insane. Especially coming from the game version. Look how beautiful. Godzilla alert. Imagine. That's what we should have got as a, or not actually not what we should have got, but imagine that as the alert we got on our phones the other day. A Godzilla alert. Oh! That looks so good, bro. Shout out to Filmcore. This is crazy. Kiryu popping in. We're gonna see Ghidorah, Megalon, and Gigan. That looks insane. The beam clash. Now we're about to see King Ghidorah. I think he swoops in first, right? Yup. Ooh, with the alien ships, bro. Megalon in the back. I think that was Gigan. Yep. Gigan flew across. This is absolutely insane. Especially for being an animation, bro. This looks like a movie. Woo! Beautiful!
And so, needless to say, I'm very happy with how
What did you think about the recreation?
I hope I made the original creators and my 10 years.
That looks amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Let me know what you thought about the recreation. By the way, I watched a little more. He said it took him 30 days, and he's working on something extra crazy. I can't wait to see what he comes out with. Thank you for watching with me. I will see you tomorrow. I love ya. Goodbye.